quite a month after we left the Essex to go back to the United States, a kamikaze hit our ship, and the engine of the kamikaze went through the porthole in my room. Of course, it was in the daytime, and I wouldn't have been there. I would have been in the air probably, but if I had been in my room, I wouldn't be talking to you today.
Wow.
I had some really good friends. The best pilot in my squadron of the new pilot out of flight school was a fellow named Freddie Leiferson. He had been to MIT 2 years. And his daddy was a civilian, but he worked in the Pentagon. And so they lived in Washington, D.C. Freddie Leiferson, by my standards, we had been all the trained in a TBS volunteer, was the smartest guy I've ever known, other than my daddy. Freddie Leiferson was the first one killed. We had 4 pilots that ended up as real good friends. 2 of us got home and 2 of them did. And my squadron casualty rate was 55%.
Wow.
But I've got an article that one of the war correspondents wrote. Now, this was before the atomic bomb was dropped down. When he wrote the article, this war correspondent said, I'm just, maybe I'm bragging, I don't know. He said that in his opinion, with what he had been observing, that we had done more damage than any other 100 young men in the Pacific. And that was a good feeling. I don't know how they would figure that out. But I got home, married my sweetheart, had that dude there for.
When you sank the carrier, you had a torpedo, obviously. Y'all knew it was there. Were y'all looking for it? Or was that the mission for the day, or was it happenstance?
We were told, well, first of all, when I went to bed the night before, we were told we were going back to Pearl Harbor for some R&R. And 2 o'clock in the morning, they waked me up and said, get up and get dressed and get ready to fly. You'll have breakfast and you'll be ready to fly. And a submarine had spotted the 4 carriers up north of Luzon, going around to attack MacArthur's forces down in Leyte. With your story, knowing the history, you know, we went back into the Philippines, but the first invasion was down south in Leyte.
Mm-hmm.
And matter of fact, that was called the Battle of Leyte Gulf, I think they called it that. So, anyway, that's the way it happened. Everything was going well.
So y'all had a general idea where they were?
We were told that they had 4 carriers with a support group. And the submarine had spotted them north of Luzon. But the assumption was that they were coming around Luzon and coming down the coast to attack MacArthur's groups from behind. They had gotten a foothold in Leyte by then. So the theory was to come in behind them and cut them off from the supplies and other troops, and those troops that had landed on Leyte, they could get rid of them. Well, our job was to stop the 4 carriers, and we did. We did.
Didn't you fly cover for one of MacArthur's multiple landings?
I'm sorry?
Didn't you fly cover for one of MacArthur's many photo ops going on shore?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the day before.
Did they sink any of the other 3 carriers or just the one?
They all was on them all.
All of them. Wow, that was over for them at that point.
I'm sorry.
That said that was it for them, the Japanese Navy
They were
then.
done. That one carrier they had left was in dry dock, and I don't think he ever got out. He was on the war actually a little bit long. But we were told that those 4 carriers better not get down there for their planes to attack our landing forces down on Lady. So we had the pleasure of watching them go down.
Mm.
And that's what I told my crewmen I said, when I was searching around, I said, look down there. That's history. You'll never see anything like that again in this war. And my gunner said, you know, a few weeks ago when we told you we'd fly straight to hell with you, and I said, I remember that. He said, I think you've just been there. That's the way he said it. I always thought about that because that was probably
Too bad he didn't have a camera.
well, I got a picture of it. I mean, I didn't get it, but the Navy, they had a 2 photographer planes going with us.
Mm.
And I've got a picture of it burning.
What was a typical mission for you? You get up, eat breakfast. What was the beginning to the end? How did your day go
Well,
usually?
first of all, we would be on what they call a high-speed approach during the night, which would get us real close to the target. And most of the time, it was some island. In fact, every strike I flew was on an island of some kind, except the fleet. But we would get up, and depending on where we were, we would usually have breakfast around 3 and be brief, get to the ready room and put our gear on. And we had a screen about that size right there. And they showed the type of opposition we would have, where they would be. And then they would tell us what each plane had in armor. Sometimes we would have, in that big one I blew the cargo vessel up. We had dive bombers and torpedo bombers with different sized bombs. Sometimes they'd be. One of my favorite things was a 100-pound General Purpose with an instantaneous fuse. Now you could really have some time with that. I'll tell you, if you want to take some more time, I'll tell you one thing. At Manila, when we went down across that bay and went down south to blow up the stuff toward Corregidor, I looked up and down on that island on the left of Manila Bay was a series of small gunships. They would call them sampans, but it was little gunship. And it was, I would say, either 10 or 12 of them lined up just like this. And so when I got back to the ship, I got hold of my skipper and I said, I'm a 12 100-pound GP with an instant fuse. And I said, we got pictures. And I said, it is going to be a knack. So he put out the word, got me 12 100-pound GP, and my gunner was all happy about it. Looked on my radio. He said, I am sorry, but I can't go another flight this day. We had had a kind of a bad day. Anyway, so they gave me out of the pool a radio. I'd never seen him before. I never saw him again. And so when I got over that, I was elbows just like this. And so I told the armor had to arm the bomb before they left the plane. And there was an arming lever back in the radio compartment. So the radio man had to arm the bomb before I dropped them. And so we circled away, and I said, you see those sampans down there? I said, I'm going to get them. And I said, I want you, when I tell you, I want you to arm the bomb. Went around, just perfect, the weather, everything. Got lined up, I said, arm them. Went by, I dropped all 12 of them, and they went toot, 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 toot. Some of them went through the ship, none of them blew up. The guy had forgot to push the arm after. So when I got back to the ship, I said, Skipper, I don't want that guy to fly again. I said, I don't want that. And he said the guy said he forgot to push the arm. And the last thing I said to him, arm will never fall. And he didn't do it. So I dropped 12 duds. And the number of the little sampans have holes in it, it was stretched over. But they didn't go home. So that's part of my fun day that day.
All that risk for nothing.
All those hits for nothing. But I think truthfully that the most gratifying hit I got was the day I got that carrier. Because that was the last, I've said this before, that was number 6, and the last surviving carrier that attacked Pearl Harbor, December 41.
Yeah, that's kind of the name of your aircraft, the Avenger, how it all came full circle, that was the revenge from the Avenger for Pearl Harbor on the last carrier, I guess.
Well, I don't know, but anyway, that's what they call it. You know, Grumman was starting off making, in that particular part of the war, F-6 fighters and the Grumman TBF torpedo bomber. But the Navy needed so many F-6s when they realized what a great job they were doing with the Japanese. The Navy said, I need more F-60s. So Grumman made a deal with General Motors. And General Motors started making torpedo bombers. And so when you crawled up on the wing of your plane and looked at the tail, if you said TBF, that was torpedo bomber by Grumman, or if it said TBM, that was torpedo bomber by General Motors. And you couldn't tell any difference because they had this everything. So I also had the pleasure of being a short stay as a test pilot for Grumman. And they sent 2 engineers from Long Island, up in that New Jersey area someplace, to California to run some stress tests. And I was given orders to go to work for those 2 guys. And I did what they told me to do and kept a record of it. I'm talking back and forth till they were on the ground. And several days later, after it was over, squadron commander called me in the morning and he said,